Hey you, what's up? Welcome to episode 2 of Mental Skills Monday. I'm Coach Britt, and frankly, if you missed the first episode, you've got to check that one out. It's kind of related to this topic, but anyways, you're part of the family now. Heart and Soul family. Hop on that, hop on this, and get ready for a long ride because we got more to come. Today's video is on the truth about confidence. 3 questions you've probably asked yourself. How do I develop confidence? How do I keep it? How do I get it back when I lose it? That's just honest, right? We all experience that as performers. Honest. Right, so we're gonna go over that, we're gonna talk about it, discuss it. I've got techniques, I've got things we can try out, things you can consider for your own game. But I'll leave you with this before we get started. The truth is, confidence is a long roller coaster ride. And the best of the best competitors out there are willing to sit down, buckle up, and stay for the long haul, right? To stay for the long game. Because confidence is messy, it's up and down, it's not perfect, but we still gotta get up and compete, right? So let's do it. I know we're just getting to know each other and we're still kind of brand new a little bit, but can I drop a fun fact about me personally? So as you're watching this, as we speak right now, I'm in Orlando, Florida on my honeymoon. Yes, Orlando, Florida on my honeymoon. Probably having a blast, probably somewhere poolside, just living it up. Can you drop a ring emoji for me? Can you drop a ring emoji for me in the comments, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? Drop it for me. Let me know you're watching. Let me know you're celebrating with me. I'd appreciate that. Okay? Shout out to my husband, friends, family, everybody. Living it up. Living it up. Alright, so we're going to get into it. I got 3 things, 3 tips, 3 techniques that's going to help you to develop confidence, keep it, and then when you lose it, get it back. Alright, 3 things that are important, and we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it a go. Alright, first thing, confidence is fragile. Confidence is fragile, and it's just within the human experience. I don't care who you are, what you do. You don't have 100% confidence 100% of the time. We just don't. You just don't. And I think that within itself is something to think about and consider, especially when it comes to comparison. I know for me as a player, I would compare myself a lot to my teammates, definitely during pregame, right? If I felt like my teammates looked very confident, looked very strong, unbothered by the pressure, unbothered by the championship game we're about to play in, they just look comfortable, that would get me down. So I was like, wow, why can't I look like that? Why can't I feel that way? Why can't I play that way? You know, and that would be kind of just like that snowball effect, and I would just feel less and less confident, and I'd doubt myself more and more. But again, you have to realize that you're not alone in the fact that you don't always feel confident. No one always feels confident, but yet you still have athletes who show up and just perform anyways, right? They perform and they just show up anyways. So the key there though is body language, right? Because you compare yourself and say, they look that way, and they probably feel that way. That's not necessarily true either, right? But body language definitely puts on the image and the presence that you are confident, and that's shoulders back, chest up, chin up, right? Walking with confidence, focused, you're composed, right? It's very important that you show up that way. Okay, because obviously it sends a message to your opponent, but what you don't realize is that it starts to send a message to yourself, right? It sends messages to your brain and your mind that you actually are ready to go, that you actually are focused, and you start to feel more confident based on how you're holding your own body, right? So that's something that you should consider, that you don't have to feel it to look it, but you can look it to feel it. Okay, so it's kind of backwards, but it actually does work. It actually does work. Positive body language is everything. Everything. Okay, it definitely helps out mentally. Okay, so we're going to go into the second one. You got to own it. You got to own it. Okay, so we have 2 types of confidence. We have interpersonal. We have intrapersonal. Okay, interpersonal is basically between me and you. So it could be you and your coach, you and your parent, the fans, college coaches, recruiters. Basically, it's what they think about you determines how you feel about yourself. Okay? And you can already start thinking about how that can be dangerous. Obviously, it's important you surround yourself with positive influences, people who are going to be there to support you day in, day out. But at the end of the day, there's going to come a point when it's just you. It's just you, and it comes down to what you think about yourself. You can't depend on what other people think. You can't. It's just not something to depend on 100% of the time. It's not. All right, so that's where we move into intra. Interpersonal confidence comes from within. It comes from you, right? Probably you think, well, maybe that's kind of harder to do because a lot of us struggle with having that confidence that comes from within. But it's important to have, and I'm going to talk about some things that you can do to help develop that and to keep that, okay? So number one, we have a confidence script. Confidence script. So this is 7 to 10 sentences, facts about you, about your history, your competitive history, that you can recite to yourself in moments of doubt to boost that confidence, right? And again, they're just straight facts, things to remind you of where you came from, what you've done, what you've accomplished, and what you're capable of, right? Keyword, what you're capable of. So I'll give you an example that I've written. So I've been playing the game since I was 5 years old, right? Going back to how long I've been playing. I played hundreds of games. I played in hundreds of games. I'm quick, I'm fast, and I always find a way to adjust. Right? This is just an example, but really, again, it's just facts, bro. It's just what do you know about yourself to be true? You recite these things in that moment of weakness, and again, it acts as a boost to get you to just be reminded of what's true, okay? Very, very important. Secondly, what you can do is you can have a confidence journal. Basically, you write in this journal after practices, after games. It's called a 3, 2, 1. 3 things that went well, 2 things that didn't, and 1 thing you learned, 1 thing you took away from the experience. Why is this important? Again, going back to the soul loves to attach to things that don't go well. We love to attach to things, dwell on things, focus on things that really are not positive, things that are not encouraging, right? It's just, man, you might win the game, but you're focused on all the things you didn't do well, right? Things like that. So what this does, it forces you to think of 3 things that you did well, and that probably might be hard for some of you, but it's important you do that. 3 things you did well, 3 things you're proud of, 2 things you got to improve on, because again, you've got to focus on those things to improve on them. You got to know what you got to improve on, and then one lesson you learned. Right, so it's just a practice. This is what you do. You got to do it consistently because really you're retraining your brain, right, to recognize the things you got to improve on, but man, to really celebrate the things you do well so that your soul starts attaching to those things and gets in the habit of that. Because it definitely transforms your mental game. Right, so 2 things you can try there. Right, so next, the last thing we got is we got to protect it. Very important, okay? Frankly, our thoughts influence our confidence. Without a doubt. You have an ongoing conversation with yourself all day long, and that's your self-talk. It's either positive or negative. And that can depend on the situation that you're in. A lot of times we're not even aware of what kind of self-talk we're having. We're not even aware of how negative it is most of the time. And how discouraging we are to ourselves in certain situations. So first off, you got to be aware of that. Be aware that your thoughts have an influence on your confidence. What kind of thoughts am I having in certain situations? Okay, I'm aware of that, and now you got 2 choices here. You got truth and you got a lie. A lot of times we believe so many lies about ourselves that definitely influence our performance. For example, I'm never a good defender. I never can play good defense. First off, that's very black and white. Don't use always and don't use never, because those statements are usually not very true, right? So that would be a lie. That would be something you said to yourself in the moment after you've gotten blown past, or you know someone scored on you, or you made a mistake, and you say that to yourself. You have to recognize that to be a lie. You replace that lie with the truth. The truth will be maybe something along the lines of, I know how to adjust my defensive stance based on the opponent I'm playing, and I know how to adjust well, and I'm a hard worker. Right, whatever, fill in the blank, but it's something based on your capability, based on what you're able to do in the moment, and frankly, it has to be related to your ability to adjust and trusting in that ability, and being a smart player, right? Whatever it is, but the basis here is that you gotta understand that there's 2 things going on. You've got lies and you got truth, and you gotta feed your soul the truth. You gotta feed your soul the truth. Do away with the lies, and know what you need to cling to and how that's going to help you perform. Alright? So that's really quickly, we got a few things that I want you to try. Confidence is fragile, understand that. Understand what that means for you. Secondly, you've got to own it. It's got to be yours. And lastly, you've got to protect it. okay? Confidence, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's a roller coaster ride. It's here today, gone tomorrow, it's up and down, but you might not feel confident right before a game starts. Does that mean that you don't play? Does that mean that you don't try? No, you still got to show up and play. Right, so trust your training, do what you got to do, and again, work on that body language, take ownership and take responsibility for yourself, for your soul, for your mind, to prepare yourself the best you can, but also trust that you are resilient enough to deal with the adversity along the way. See you next Monday for mental skills, for the next Mental Skills Monday series video. Appreciate you guys riding along. See you next time.
The dash is digi, the schedule busy. My head in a hoodie, my shorty a goodie. My cousins are crazy, my cousins like boogie. Life is amazing, it is what it should be. Been here for 10, but I feel like